Welcome back to Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by IronMag Labs. Make your mark. I'm Dave Palumbo, and today is Wednesday, October 4th, 2017. And let's find out what's going on in the world of bodybuilding and fitness. Well, if you happen to be a bodybuilding fan kicking around the streets of the Czech Republic this past weekend, boy, were you ever in luck, because a brand spanking new edition of the EVLS Prague Pro brought all the action and excitement you could ever have wanted. In the open bodybuilding, a cartoonish-looking Ruli Winkler brought out that big gun look on his way to earning a huge win by holding off another awesome effort by eventual second-place finisher William Bonac. In the 212 division, second-year man Ricardo Correa continued his reign of terror by putting together his best overall performance yet, and perhaps giving everyone a quick glimpse at what the future of the division might look like. And wrapping things up in the surprisingly deep bikini lineup, just as we predicted right here on this fine program 2 weeks ago, was a red-hot Margaret Nahr, rebounding from her disappointing Olympia weekend to capture the crown at the EVLS for the second time in her sterling career. I saw a special on the Discovery Channel once that talked about the migratory patterns of polar bears when winter weather starts to roll in. And I sure hope for their sake that their path doesn't bring them anywhere close to wherever it is that Ian Valliere is calling home these days. Over the weekend, new update photos surfaced of a 290-pound Valliere looking like a real-life superhero as he prepares to wrap up the final stage of his 2017 size campaign. Taking the entire season off to focus on making improvements looks like a genius move right about now, because the amount of muscle this kid's been able to put on in the last 12 months is nothing short of astonishing. Up to this point in his career, Valliere has been someone who's always made conditioning priority number one every time he sets foot on stage. So as long as he can stick to what got him here and not get caught up in trying to play the size game, I think the new and improved Ian Valliere has a chance to be a real game changer whenever he decides to pop up again next season. I heard someone try to tell me once that the classic physique guys aren't out there grinding it out like some of the other male athletes in the sport. Well, apparently that fool must have never taken the time to get a close look at what sophomore standout Garrett Colho's been up to lately. In honor of International Chest Day, Colho decided to release some video from his latest bench press session, where we see him giving 455 pounds a ride for a handful of easy reps. To his credit, Colho's got a well-deserved reputation of being one of the hardest working men in the division. And when you see him putting in this sort of off-season work, it isn't hard to understand why. During his first 2 years on the pro circuit, Colho's always been a guy who showed serious flashes of potential at one time or another. So if he can manage to start tying it all together, this is a guy who's easily capable of finding himself standing on the Olympia stage at some point in the very near future. I've never once in my life met anyone who was able to achieve greatness without stepping outside of their comfort zone. So I guess it's a good thing that classic physique superstar Chris Bumstead isn't a big fan of sitting around and getting comfortable. A few weeks removed from putting on a brilliant second-place performance at the Mr. Olympia that left everyone in the building buzzing, one of the brightest young talents in the division is already back to doing the work which got him there in the first place. Early Sunday, new video leaked of C-Bum knocking out an AM back session and slowly starting to ease his way back into true form. Expectations were high for Bumstead when he turned pro at the North Americans a few years ago, but I don't even think that he would have imagined he'd find himself sitting only a few points away from being crowned an Olympia champ this quickly. At just 22 years old, it feels like the sky really is the limit for this kid, and I personally can't wait to see what sort of improvements he's going to roll out when he comes back bigger and better than ever again at some point next season. This weekend, all eyes in the bodybuilding world will be glued to the news coming out of the jam-packed Kuwait Pro, where it looks like classic physique fans will get another chance to catch perennial Olympia threat Arash Rabar in action. Late Sunday night, news broke that Rabar had agreed to join the list of stars headlining these insane lineups. Rabar is fresh off an insane fourth-place finish at the Olympia, where he brought out the best look of his career to date in what was easily the most competitive top 6 lineup of the entire weekend. Beyond any shadow of a doubt, Arash Rabar is an athlete who's capable of winning any show on any day, no matter who else is up there sharing the stage with him. So don't let it come as a major shock if you see a shapelier, drier version of Rabar show up and clean house on his way to locking up the biggest win of his career in spectacular fashion. And that does it for yet another edition of Muscle in the Morning, brought to you by IronMag Labs. Make your mark. Check out IronMagLabs.com today. I'm Dave Palumbo, reminding you to always be true to your passions, and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.